Picking who you sell AI to is probably one of the most important decisions you can make this entire year. And most people who build AI agencies right now are quietly selling to the wrong people. So today I'm ranking 100 niches to sell AI to, ranked from best to worst, so you can stop guessing and finally start selling to the right type of person. Now, avoid means no budget, they don't have big enough pain, or they're just too small, so don't waste your time. Easy means they've got cash, a painful manual problem that AI can solve, and you can actually get to the owner by phone, so this is where you're going to get your first clients. Medium is a bit trickier, a bigger build or harder client to reach, and you should only go here when you're trying to challenge yourself. And hard is for AI operators who already have clients and a proven offer. And the money is much bigger there, so if you start with no proof, you will get eaten alive. So my tip when you watch this video is to start with the easy ones and then go up as you graduate, aka get more clients. So let's not turn this video into a 2-hour course, let's start right away. Okay, first up, it's restaurants. Avoid. I know the instinct is I'll build them a reservation bot and an AI that handles bookings, but the average ticket is actually really tiny and the margins are savage, and they will not pay you a real monthly retainer to cover 4 weeks of a pay, for example. So 5 years ago, you could make a marketing work for restaurants. For example, my first ever client was a restaurant client, but it's a grind now and the money on the other side is just not worth it for you. So I will put that in avoid. Cafe, same lane, but even worse. Avoid. Anything when a customer is worth under $30, for example, on the front end, they can't fund what the AI is going to cost to run, let alone your fee on the top. So the unit economics are dead before you even start with it. Avoid. Takeaways and food delivery. Avoid unless it's genuinely premium. The owner is trying on razor-thin margins and pure volume, and there's just not enough juicy problem you can attach a price to, and a bot that saves them a few phone orders won't move their entire numbers enough to keep you paid. So put that into avoid. Drink venues, pubs, cocktail bars, avoid. Too low ticket and there's no recurring AI paying you can actually charge for. Nobody's paying you monthly to fill a quiet Tuesday with a chatbot. Putting it in avoid. Alcohol stores and drinking brands. This one's hard, not avoid, because the good ones are e-commerce and the return can be wild. But that's an experienced operator play with a real ad and compliance know-how, so it's absolutely not where you start, putting it in avoid. High-end fine dining. This one flips to medium because now there's like real margin and reputation worth protecting, so an AI no-show recovery that handles bookings actually pays for itself. The catch is that it's maybe 1 in 10 restaurants, so as a blanket rule, the whole food world is to avoid. Now car dealerships. This is a medium because nobody impulse buys a car off a chatbot, so this isn't a simple lead gen. It's a brand plus relentless follow-ups, and the second part is the opening. Dealerships are famously slow to chase inquiries, so an AI setter that instantly responds to every web lead, qualifies them, and books the test drive while they're still warm is genuinely sticky, but it's a valuable build. So I'll put this one into medium. Car garages on the repair side. Huge avoid. You only need a mechanic when something breaks, so there's no steady stream of demand to automate and no reason for recurring spend. And if you're pure Google plus AI operator, you can catch it in the moment intent, but for most of you, you should skip it. Car detailing, wraps, and parts. Easy, as long as it's not repairs. It's high ticket, people actively want it, and a speed to lead bot that sends a quote and books the slot while the interest is hot converts brilliantly, because these owners almost never reply fast themselves. Vehicle hire, now this is a medium. It's not a conventional lead gen play, it leans on search and creative, but the qualifying book flow is a clean AI fit once you understand how their calendar and availability actually work. Now the good stuff, and this is where most of you should actually get your first client. Constructions and renovations. Easy. Gotta put this into the easy tier, because this is massively underserved. Everybody's got a job they want doing in the house, the owner is completely reachable because he answers his own phone, and he's losing real money every day because he's on site and can't pick up the phone actually. A missed call text back plus an AI voice agent that answers and books the quote while he's up on the ladder, plus instantly follows up on every form he understands the value in 1 sentence. Now roofers, it's easy. Same shape. Urgent, high intent demand, a reachable non-technical owner, and instant lead follow-up genuinely feels like magic to a guy who's used to calling people back 2 days later. Bricklayers and general builders. Easy. Identical pattern, just make sure they've got enough job volume and a small crew to justify a proper retainer rather than just a one-off. Heating and air conditioning. Easy and very timely. Gonna put this into the easy tier. An AI agent that qualifies and books, installs fast, will absolutely clean up every single job they have. And before the competition even manages to get to these people. Now landscapers, this is uneasy as well. It's local, it's visual, a before and after sells itself, and the gap is that they almost never chase leads quickly, which is the exact hole AI feels. Solar, again, it's easy, and plus it's a high ticket. 3 surgeons, easy, and barely anyone is touching them at this point. They got reachable owners, a decent ticket, and a simple AI booking and quote flow that will make them stand out easily from the sleepy local market. Now financial advisors, this is a medium one. Good money and real recurring need, but they're harder to reach and there's compliance you have to respect, but it's a casual cold play actually. Now if you manage to get past that wall though, you will have an AI intake that pre-qualified leads and an assistant that handles the repetitive client questions that will save them hours every single week, so it's a must. Accountants, now this is a medium one. The owner is hard to get a hold of and you'll deal with a lot of gatekeepers, but the admin paid underneath is enormous by the way, so chasing documents, onboarding, answering the same 5 questions 100 times each month, and the AI eats all of that for breakfast, which makes for a very sticky retainer. Now mortgage brokers, this is medium as well. They get hammered with inbound inquiries and follow up too far slowly, and in mortgages speed to lead is literally the whole game basically, so an instant AI responder that qualifies and books the call genuinely wins them deals they'd otherwise lose to the other broker who ranked first. Now lawyers and law firms, this is hard, but it's one of the few best on the whole board. Lawyers are sophisticated buyers who will not work with someone carrying zero proof, and there's real compliance to get everything right, so this is not a beginner move. But the pain is actually really massive when you look at it. Intake is coming in at 9 PM for example, leads are going cold, hours wasted qualifying time wasters, and the money per client is huge. Now this is exactly where my world lives. So actually don't start here, build towards it. Because one signed law firm is worth 10 plumbers for example. And here's the actual angle that lands. A single new case for a personal injury or family firm can be worth thousands. So when a lead fills in the form at 9 PM for example, and nobody replies until the next afternoon, that lead has already went to 2 other law firms. An AI intake agent responds instantly, qualifies the case, and books the consultation while they're still in pain, and it's not a nice have for these guys by the way, it's a recovered revenue per missed lead that worth anything you'll charge. You just need proof and the confidence to sit across from a partner without even flinching. Real estate agent will go to medium. A lot of beginners run at real estate and get humbled because you're selling to professional salespeople who are already convinced they don't need you at all. But once you understand that agents let leads rot while they're stuck in showings all day, your AI will actually make a lot of sense to them. Insurance, this is hard. There are specific CAT and data rules you have to check on the platform first, but underneath, the follow-up and renewal chase is recurring and painful, so once you actually know the rules, it's a strong and sticky niche. SaaS and software company, now this is hard. And to be clear, I don't mean the recycled go start a go high level SaaS, everyone is pushing, you already know my opinion on that. I mean selling real AI operations into actual software companies, support deflection, onboarding flows, lead routing. They make brilliant clients, but they're technical buyers who see through fluff, so you need genuine experience in this field. Now other agencies, this is hard. You can absolutely sell AI systems to other agencies, but you have to be a clearly successful operator before they even trust you. And if you're already at that level, you know your niche and you do not need to watch this video. Now nonprofits, this is actually really hard. But for the same reason, it's actually a sleeper as well, because some carry serious funding. They want established, credible partners, though it's a comeback later niche, so it's not a really great starting point. Okay, so this next cluster is a gold actually, because I put the best one here. Now MedSpas and aesthetic clinics, I would put this into easy tier. The chair has serious value and the front desk is already overwhelmed, so an AI booking and recall automation pays for itself almost immediately, and the lifetime value of one patient is actually really huge. Cosmetic dentist. Now this is a medium tier. I don't have much to say about this, but it's the similar one as MedSpas, it's just harder to reach. Regular dentist, it's an easy tier. Alright, just expanding the list because I saw I will not be able to fit all of this. Then you have chiropractors, which is an easy tier again, as long as they haven't been hammered by every other agency in the town. They have repeat visits, obvious pain, a reachable owner, and a reactivation flow that brings dormant patients back in as an easy result to show. Cosmetic surgeons. Now this one's actually pretty hard, but it's actually excellent as well. The return on investment is genuinely wild. But these are experienced owners who want proof of concept before they even touch you, so don't lead your career here. Hair transplant. Now this one's actually really hard as well. Because again, these are seasoned buyers who'll test you hard, so build your proof elsewhere first and then come back for them. Now we have med spas doing red light, like the cryotherapy, IV drips, the whole alternative world. This goes into medium. It's growing fast and it's high ticket, so the same booking and follow-up automation applies, you just need slightly more bespoke and offer because the treatments are less familiar to the public. Vets and veterinary clinic, and this one goes into medium because it's a sneaky good one. Runs an offer like a free pet health check to switch people off their current vet, because the lifetime value of a pet owner is enormous and underneath it's the same booking and recall pain that AI handles in its sleep. Senior care and home care. Senior care and home care. This one goes into medium. And let me just preface this by saying that this strategy needs a bit more thought than a casual lead gen flow, because the buyer is often the family and not the actual patient. But the demand is actually enormous, and an AI qualifier handle that handles inquiries, for example, from families and books a call works really well here. Now we have gyms. This is an easy one. But I have one warning here. Everyone and their dog has tried gyms, so some areas are completely nailed shot. But when you land one, this one is winning fast because of the instant follow-up and the automatic no-show recovery on free trial leads, which in 8 dozen seconds, while the human team forgets. Now CrossFit boxes, climbing gyms, boot camps, this one goes into easy again. And this is the smart play, because these out-of-ordinary gyms are far less saturated than pure gym down the road, so you'll get all of the upside without the fraction of the competition. Now martial arts, this one goes into easy tier again. And this is one of the best niches to actually go in right now, because parents are inquiring constantly about classes for their kids and almost nobody follows up fast, so an AI setter cleans that up. Personal trainers and fitness coaches, this is easy, but only if there's like a real business and the capacity to grow, not a one-man band scraping, for example, 5 clients at one time. Now yoga, pilates or studio, this one goes into easy again. You have class bookings, trial follow-ups, reminders, all of it is a textbook AI automation, the owners are reachable, and filling of peak classes, it's an easy and visible result. Nutritionists, it's the same story again, easy. You have recurring clients, a stream of inquiries to qualify, and an AI intake that books the consult while they're still motivated, because, people lose motivation fast. Hair salons, easy but only on the high end. I will put this into the easy tier, but please avoid men's barbers because they're too low ticket, and skip anyone doing, for example, $20 cuts, because the mats will never carry a retainer no matter how good your automation is. High-end makeup artists, this one goes again into easy tier, but it has to be premium, for example, weddings and events, where a single booking is worth enough to justify your fee, and not the dresser charging $20 for a cut, for example. Childcare and nurseries, again, easy tier. They have reachable owners, relentless inquiry handling pain from parents, and an AI intake is a clean fit here. Skip the one-person operations though and target 2+ location businesses with an actual budget. Home security and CCTV, this goes into easy tier. Everyone wants it and the owners are reachable, and the qualify and how to book flow is exactly an AI wheelhouse. Cleaning commercially and domestically, easy, with a big one caveat though. You want them on recurring contracts, not just one-off jobs. But don't sell AI to land someone single, for example $30 house clean, sell it to fill a whole monthly retainer pipeline, and if they do not have a recurring offer, help them build one, because the moment you stop being a vendor, you become genuinely valuable. Window cleaning and pressure washing, this goes again into easy tier. With decent lifetime value, just sell them on the whole packages rather than just single jobs, and then warn them upfront that they will get some low quality leads that the AI will filter and qualify before a human ever sees them. Painting and decorators, again, easy tier. But please avoid the one-man bands. Go for the firm with crews and steady job volume who can actually use the extra pipeline. Pest control, now this one goes into medium. Leaning easy in the right area, a lot of it is in the moment search, but a reactivation and seasonal reminder flow can build genuine recurring income. So I'd love to see one of you nail this properly. Pool cleaners and hot tub activation, this one is an easy tier. Higher ticket than most people assume and very seasonal, so an AI follow-up that fires at exactly the right moment in the year matters a lot. This one is easy again. Surprisingly decent, steady local demand, and a that simple booking flow that AI handles without breaking a sweat. Now flooring, plumbing, and electricians all go into the easy tier. All easy because they have the same pattern, a reachable owner, a repetitive inquiry plan, and an obvious AI win. Just make sure that they're a proper firm. Now skip higher, easy, and I genuinely want one of you to actually go into this niche because it's a really interesting one. Because I genuinely saw someone do this, and in one single month they made around $20K. So yeah, it's a very little competition, so make sure you try it. Now shed supplies, garden offices, outbuildings, this is in a medium one. Now let me actually pull out 3 rules that actually matter here, because picking the niche is only half of it and spotting the pattern is the other half. Rule 1. Avoid being one-man band. If one person is doing, for example, $100 job the one day and then the next day he's doing $10 job, there's no budget for you and no system to actually plug the AI in the first place, so you need a small team and real volume underneath. Take handyman, for example, in this case scenario. He's a solo handyman doing odd jobs that will never pay you properly, so he's in the avoid tier. Rule 2. Avoid low ticket. If the customer is worth around $30 to $40 or even lower on the front end, just walk away, because AI costs real money and you actually want a full retainer, and on top of that, math only work when the client's or customer is actually worth something. And this is exactly why nail salons, men's barbers, zoos, and cinema are all hard avoids, so I will just put them all here. Now, e-commerce brands in general, this is a hard one. And do not touch it as a beginner. The owners are tech savvy and half of them already have someone wiring K into this stack, so they will smell it in 30 seconds if you actually have never done something like this before. Brilliant money once you have the proof though, but you have to earn your money somewhere else first. Now, supplements and skincare brands, this one has to be a hard tier. Fashion and clothing stores, this one is again hard tier, just because they already know marketing and they've worked with agencies before, often badly, so you have to be genuinely good and clearly different to stand out from everyone who has pitched them before. Now you have jewelries and art galleries. This is hard but actually great because mostly it's e-commerce, high margins, and exactly the kind of brand where an AI-driven follow-up on high intent, high value buyers really pays off. Furniture stores, hardware stores, pet stores, this goes all into hard. And it needs to be e-commerce rather than local brick and mortar, but the return is actually really strong once you land the right one with a clear online volume. Then you have sports specialty shops. This is a hard one, but it's actually incredible when it works because any specialist e-commerce product converts beautifully to a tight audience, but it's absolutely not a beginner play. Electronics, gaming computers, TVs, this one is again hard. It falls squarely under e-commerce, big spenders, but they expect you to actually know your stuff and they won't tolerate any guesswork. Crypto and NFT projects. This is again hard tier and it's not my personal favorite. Hotels and resorts, again hard, because you get pulled into their whole operation rather than a clean lead gen build, but a boutique hotel with an AI concierge and a tight direct booking flow that cuts their resilience on a big booking sites can be brilliant and high value kind. Then we have travel agents, which is again hard. A boutique operator with a great content can genuinely win, but you'll often have to build that content first, so it's a heavier lift than it actually looks. Event venues, weddings and event spaces, this one goes into hard. Wedding and events planner, this is a medium. There's a real subsection of them that genuinely wants to scale, so target recently engaged audiences and an inquiry handler that qualifies and books consultations, so you've just got a patient finding the growth-minded ones rather than just lifestyle business ones. Now, jet charter and yacht charter. This is a hard one, and certainly please avoid it, because the audience is really small and almost no one has ever heard of them. Interior design. Now this one is a medium. They're creative and actually a lot of the work that comes, it's mostly word of mouth, so mostly they don't need you, but you can actually find the needle in the haystack here, where you're going to find a client who is really going to want to work with you, and that's a high ticket client. Now self-storage, this is a medium one. It's a steady, predictable demand on simple qualifying to book flow, so it's an easy operational win once you actually get your foot in the door. Tattoo parlors, this is a medium one, but with a big twist here, because the good ones are actually booked solid, so you work with the ones that aren't yet and expand into their content and reputation automation once they fill up. A bit more hands-on, but a generally fun niche once you have some loyal clients. Florists, spa and wellness centers, personal chefs, this is a medium one, but strictly on the high ticket ones because their price will actually justify your fee. This one's actually as well medium next to it. Now some quick-fire avoids, I made a little space here, because knowing what exactly you need to skip will save you months of effort. Anything you can buy in an emergency and then forget about it, for example locksmiths, towing, removals and house movers, junk removal and even funeral services, not to be disrespectful, should go all into a void. I'm gonna put them right here actually, because nobody's going to get a steady stream of demand for these on social media. People searching them in the middle of a crisis, in the moment of need, for example. And if you're pure Google plus AI operator, some of these slip too easy, but the majority of you, please avoid. Architects, again, please avoid this one. And I say this as someone who studied a bit of architecture myself. When people need an architect, they go looking in magazines at houses they love, at designs they admire. You do not need to impulse buy off of an AI funnel. Online courses and coaches. This one has to go too hard. The brutal truth is that most AI coaches don't know what they're doing, and your AI is maybe 10% of their business, but the other 90% is their offer and their delivery, which you cannot control here. So you can build a serious agency in this world, but you'll get dragged into webinars and funnels and a lot more than you signed up for, so only go with your eyes open. Event security and security guards. This one has to be avoided, because it's low ticket. Project based and nothing recurring underneath to actually pay your retainer. Music artists, bands and DJs, this one has to be avoided as well, because people only book when they need them. The one exception is in children birthday entertainers, which are that easy to target because Facebook Kids birthday parties are constant, so that little corner is actually safe, and I would put this into the easy tier if it hadn't been for the other cons. Now photographers, you should definitely avoid this one, because I watch way too many people try to make this niche work and it just haven't worked already. There are too many what I discussed earlier one-man bands, pricing that's all over the place from person to person, and they're fundamentally limited by the hours in their day. Videographers, I would put this one into actually medium. It's a clear step up from photographers, higher ticket and far more likely to actually want to scale and branch out, so a sharp, specific offer can land here, but again it's medium, so it's going to be a bit more hard. Now video editors, as a former video editor myself, I would say you should avoid this one. Unless their service is actually productized, in which case it's not just to medium, but you need a very direct offer at a very specific kind of buyer to actually make it work, so please avoid this one. Now the last two, racetracks, driving experience or go-karting, this one goes into medium. It's too cheap, but a proper $100 plus driving experience is very bookable straight away from an AA follow-up. I can generally see a lot of people booking this as a gift or a treat. And the last one, dog trainers, this one goes into easy. And plenty of these dogs actually need training, the owners are reachable, there's real recurring potential, and almost nobody in that world is following up with leads fast, so it's a genuinely good little niche to go after. So that's it guys, here's the entire tier list right here, so you can choose which one you want to go in, but please be careful, skip the avoid one, stick to easy and medium, and only go to hard if you're a real operator with years of experience already. So see you in the next one.